New York City's infrastructure is failing. The city once revered for its well-designed grid-like road system and public transit system that were symbols of a new era of American infrastructure. But decades have passed, and New York's complex system is suffering from a chronic lack of maintenance, funding, and support. And this is not just an issue for the city itself, but an issue of life or death for the millions that live inside its metro area. A few months ago, a Facebook user posted photos of the vertical beams in the Trans-Manhattan Expressway. The photos showed crumbling concrete casings around the pillars. The poster, a New York resident named Jeff Sellers, said that he'd been watching these pillars come apart for the past 2 years. This threatened not just the thousands of buildings that use the expressway, but also the high-rise buildings on top of it. The Port Authority told the area's council member that there were no structural concerns. Nevertheless, the Port Authority agreed to replace the concrete coverings of the beams. However, the original post had already been shared 16,000 times in the local area, causing panic among the residents. Thankfully, the Port Authority already had a plan to replace the beams, and residents' concerns were widely an overreaction of the events. The beams were not responsible for holding up the apartments above, and it would not cause nearly the devastation highlighted in the original post. However, this is only the beginning of a pattern of crumbling infrastructure around New York City. According to the Caution Ahead report, 11% of New York's bridges are over 100 years old. This means that these bridges have been in operation for a long time and may be in need of repair or replacement due to age-related deterioration. Additionally, it is stated that a large number of vehicles, over 2.7 million, drive over the 47 bridges in New York that are rated as fracture critical every single day. This designation is given to bridges that have a low level of structural redundancy, meaning that they do not have multiple structural components that can support the bridge in the event of a failure in one component. These types of bridges are considered more prone to collapse because they rely on a single structural component to support the entire bridge. It is important to maintain and repair these types of bridges to ensure the safety of the vehicles and people using them. Aging infrastructure can pose a number of problems for cities like New York. And this is not just limited to things like roads and bridges. It's also present in the water mains. Many pipes in New York are over 100 years old, and they're more prone to corrosion, cracking, and leaks, which can lead to reduced water quality, water shortages, and property damage. Over 1,000 miles of New York's pipes are over this age. The average age in total is 69, leading to increased water main breaks, disrupting service, and causing other issues. This is also an issue in the New York City subway system, where the age signaling system can also contribute to delays and disruption in service, as well as increased maintenance cost. Similarly, roads and highways that are in poor condition can be dangerous for drivers and pedestrians, and lead to much higher maintenance costs for the city overall. Addressing aging infrastructure is important for the safety, reliability, and efficiency of a city's infrastructure system. This often requires significant investments in repair, replacement, and modernization efforts, which can be costly and time-consuming. However, failing to address these issues can result in even greater costs and disruptions in the long run. New York remains billions of dollars behind in infrastructure maintenance and repairs, and this number was only estimated in 2014 at $47 billion. But since it's been around 7 years since then, it's likely to have significantly increased. While the city was once at the pinnacle of public infrastructure, a chronic lack of funding has led it to fall behind other developed states and countries. If New York City wants to stay competitive as a global city in the world, something needs to change. What will be that change? Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss all of the future updates on all things infrastructure and hopefully a positive update on the status of New York infrastructure at some point in the future.